So we are live for day 3 of the 3-day live event for LinkedIn to teach you how to leverage a few AI tools or just the thought process behind leveraging AI to grow your personal brand or scale it on LinkedIn. So if you're here, put live in the chat. I want to see who you are. Put live in the chat. And what we're going to be focused on today is getting to the point where we are posting 11 times per week or more on LinkedIn. This is based on the data that we covered on day 1, which was recent research released, I believe, from Buffer, that showed that basically if you post 11 times or more per week on LinkedIn, the amount of impressions that you get per post is at least 5x if you only post 2 to 5 times a week. So it compounds, and I'm not surprised. This breaks a huge myth that people have had on LinkedIn for far too long, where people believed for a while that you had to post less on LinkedIn to get more reach. And although that may be a good strategy for someone who is an executive or in corporate, it is definitely not the best strategy if you want to build visibility and if you are an entrepreneur. Does that make sense? So put yes in the chat. So I'm going to go through what I would do if I were you to start posting daily. And there's really 2 paths to be able to do this that I have found lead to the highest chances of success, not just for a week, not just for a month, but over years, to the point where in 2 years, 3 years, when I look at your personal brand, you're still posting and you're not just doing it on LinkedIn at a high quality and helping people there, but in other places. So if you're ready to get to that point, put 1 in the chat, and then I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share the presentation. We are also beginning a 30-day LinkedIn video challenge. There are different tiers to join. So you could join either free or $297, where you get the 30-day recordings and replays and lessons, or $997, where you actually get personalized guidance, advice, and it's more like a Zoom meeting with VIP access. So if you see on YouTube the link pinned to the top, you can register for that. October, November, and December is a critical time for you as an entrepreneur to get your message out there. Why? Because you're not just competing against your competitors. A lot of the biggest companies are going to start ramping up their marketing for the holiday season. And you're also going to be competing against Amazon, for example, who's going to be sending all of your prospects 1 million notifications a week. They're about to ramp things up. And so if you want to increase the chances of success for your business, for just getting the word out there, for getting sales not only in Q4, but also building the trust necessary when people have board meetings and put aside budgets in Q1, you better start planting the seeds now in advance. And we could start doing that on October 1st together through the LinkedIn video challenge. So that is pinned to the top. And if you have questions about that, then just put it in the chat and I'll answer at the end of the presentation. All right, so let me bring this up. Hold on. Okay. So how to use AI to build or scale your personal brand on LinkedIn. I think the first thing to understand is that, number 1, the most powerful thing that you could do is understand that every social media platform, including LinkedIn, the AI behind the algorithm is getting better and better and better. And we live in such a time of opportunity because of that. Where before you used to really have to work hard to get your content in front of the right people, now the algorithms are doing that for you. And really where your attention has to be focused is in just focusing on the right messaging, mastering your messaging, mastering your delivery so that you're not boring people to death with your videos, and so that your true natural essence really come out in videos and in your posts. Other than that, the algorithms are getting smart at finding the right people. I've noticed a trend in this, especially on the LinkedIn side. On the YouTube side, it was always pretty much that case, because I would ask clients and they would be like, well, I found you on YouTube. And I would drill a little bit further and I'd say, well, how did you find me on YouTube? And in the beginning, a lot of the times it was, oh, well, actually, I went to Google, I put in a question, I saw your YouTube video, and then I clicked it, and then I went to LinkedIn. And so even though they were telling me, oh, I found you on YouTube, I knew that it was actually a specific search on Google. My YouTube video was served. And so that never really surprised me, because in the beginning, that was really the function of YouTube. But on LinkedIn, people would tell me the same thing. I'd be like, well, how did you find me? And this is a good tip for all of you when you're onboarding a new client or even having a prospect conversation, to ask them this question: how did you find me? I'll ask a lot of clients, well, how did this client find you? How do your clients find you? And a lot of the times they'll be like, I don't know, I don't ask. I think that that's crazy, in the most respectful way possible, but you have to start asking. So put ask in the comments, write the word ask if you're going to start asking this. And this is very important, because what people may say to you may actually mean something different. So on LinkedIn, a lot of the times people will say, it's either one of two things: I saw your live, I saw your video, or I found you on LinkedIn. Well, when they say I found you, I'm like, find for me is I put something in the search box, and then I actually found your profile, and then I clicked on it. But when I drill clients to tell me what they mean, they basically mean they were scrolling and my video found them, which means that especially when it's like a top client or a client that I just genuinely enjoy working with, that means that the algorithms are getting smarter. They're delivering the video or the piece of content, usually it is a video, and we'll get into that, to the right person, and it just happens to be the right time for them. So put a yes in the chat if you're understanding this. That spend less time on trying to hack with hashtags and all that stuff, and more time on mastering the messaging, because the AI is getting smarter. Okay. Now, that said, there's a lot of lost opportunity in leveraging the AI if you're not posting daily, right? So if you post daily, regardless of whether the data shows that we should be posting 11 plus times per week, let's just say that we were even getting less impressions per post. But for me, it would still be just as valuable, because if you post daily, you get a data set of 30 posts in 30 days. So I can learn, what are the 3 outliers in those 30 days. And I can see like what posts get the most likes, the most comments, the most engagement, the most reposts, which posts are resonating with my actual audience. And on the back end, I could track, well, 3 new clients mentioned this one video that I did. And then that could, in my mind, be tagged as a conversion post, even if it didn't get the most impressions and engagement. So I'm getting feedback. The feedback loop could be a daily thing on LinkedIn, but you have to be posting daily. So it's a fast feedback loop because of AI. But that's not possible if you're not actually feeding the machine. Does this make sense? Put yes in the chat. Okay. So, and then again, going back to the data, the question is, okay, we get it. We have to be posting every day at least. How do we actually get to the place where we start? So there are 2 paths that I would say. The first path is I would start with 1 video a day on LinkedIn for 30 days. The reason why I would start here is because it's focused. So instead of trying to go to the next tier where you're balancing text and images and polls and trying to figure out what to post when, you could just focus on one medium. And you master the most difficult medium first. You are also giving the platform more of what it wants. Okay? And what do I mean by that? When we look at what LinkedIn is literally posting and asking people, hey, you should probably do more of this, it is actually short form video and interactive content like live video. I'll show you some posts from LinkedIn leaders and from official statements from LinkedIn, right? The official company that is pushing for more video. And these statements and posts and leaders all did this type of message within the last 7 days, okay? So right now, LinkedIn wants more short form video. And when a platform says, I want more short form video, it's good for you to, leverage the algorithm and the power behind the machine and be rewarded for it. So it's good for you to feed that machine because you will more than likely be rewarded for feeding it. So here's evidence of that. So I'm going to show you some posts here. And I'm going to make sure that, hold on, my sound is on here. Yeah, it is. So here's the first one. This is posted from a senior product marketing manager at LinkedIn. They just did a pretty big partnership with CapCut. So here we see that we've partnered with CapCut so you can publish your videos. Make sure you have the latest versions of the apps downloaded. And then we have this short.
Check this out. You can now create in CapCut and post to LinkedIn in just 2 taps. Your video then gets a tag like this and has a chance to be featured in trends on the platform. This is just one of the many ways we're trying to make creation easier for you. Check it out.
So now you could actually go to CapCut. When you're done editing the video, you can click LinkedIn. It automatically tags it and it gives the video more potential for it to be in the trending videos on LinkedIn and give views and get more engagement. Okay. So that's just one post. This was posted 6 days ago. Let's go to another one. This one was posted by a senior director of product. With the acceleration we've seen in video posting over the last year, it's become more important than ever. To help us move quickly on that, we shared a few months ago that we had limited the availability of the beta video tab and select video features to the US so that we could quickly iterate. Excited to now share the progress that we've been seeing, including members watching 40% more videos in the tab and spending 2.2 times more time there versus a year ago. These improvements to the video tab are shaping how we're leveling up our broader video experience globally. So here is his message.
Hey, what's up, folks? So earlier this summer, I shared how we're testing new experiences for video on LinkedIn, starting with trends in the video tab in the US. Today, I've got some fun findings from that testing to help videos that you or your clients make stand out. So first, let's start big picture. Video is one of LinkedIn's fastest growing formats for creation. In fact, it's growing at 1.6x the rate of all other formats combined. And when people...
Now, why is this? Why are they doing this? Obviously, the other platforms have proven the power of video. It's just how our brains are wired. More people will spend more time on the platform, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever platform it is. Obviously, we're talking about LinkedIn today, but they're going to have more users spend more time if people create videos. And the reason is because our brains resonate more with videos. We remember videos. We could talk about mind share. I would have somebody watch 10 of my videos versus read 10 of my articles any day because they'll get a visual memory of it. There's just a lot that goes into it and they know it and they're probably seeing the back end results of it. So they want you, someone like you, businesses, to create videos to keep your network on the platform longer, and then you get rewarded for that.
People create with video, they see 3x growth in followers. So, when growth like that happens, that means 2 big things. First, there's a lot more content for us to match to the right members. And second, creators want to know, how do I stand out? So we got new insights on both of those, which I'm excited to share with you guys today. On that first one, on matching members to the right content, earlier this summer, we limited the availability of the video tab and select video features to the US so that we could iterate quickly. That's been paying off. So members are now watching 40% more videos in the tab than they did a year ago. And they're spending 2.2x more time watching videos while they're there. So now we're taking all those learnings to level up the video experience for our members globally. On that second topic of helping creators stand out, we actually went in recently and we studied the videos that are getting the most traction over the last couple of months. And we found that there's 3 things those videos are doing that the average video on LinkedIn is not. Number 1, they start with a short on-screen text hook, just a little piece of text that captures attention immediately. Second, they include built-in captions. So not all members watching videos have sound turned on here, so having captions that are visually appealing goes a long way. And third, they use visual elements to vary things up. So everything from scene changes to B-roll to graphics, just these small touches that keep people watching, and they're easy to do in your favorite editing app.
And they're even telling us what to do. They're like, please do these 3 things because it'll keep people on the platform longer and we will push your videos.
Overall, anytime we make improvements in surfacing videos to members, I know it can create fluctuations in the performance that individual creators might see. So some of you might be seeing a lot more views recently, while some of you might be seeing less. That's why we're sharing these new insights to help folks keep leveling up with video here. Our most successful creators are the ones who keep experimenting. They adopt a whole array of formats. And when they make content in the video format, they go for those on-screen text hooks. They go for those burnt-in captions. They go for those visual elements, all things that help them.
Again, when a platform tells you what to do, you should probably do it. Here's another one again. And that one, by the way, so this video was posted 2 days ago. Okay. So all of these updates are coming within the last 7 days. This isn't like a 7-month ago update. And I'm going to go to another one. So here it says videos winning on LinkedIn. Last quarter, 4 out of 5 of our top performing campaigns were video forward. That's not a coincidence. Here's the simplest advice I can give to advertisers. So this is specifically speaking to people who are not just posting organically, but actually doing paid ad campaigns. Pick one static creative asset, replace it with a 15-second video. So basically, if you have 10 text posts on LinkedIn, pick the one that's the best and then just read the text as a script, or, kind of go off. These are the 3 tips. Grab your phone, hit record, talk like a human. Contrary to popular belief, people on LinkedIn aren't looking for more highly polished brand content. We went through this on day 1, right? As the baseline of what people are going to trust evolves because of AI, it will actually be imperfect videos where people can tell that you're actually human, where you infuse a bit of your personality that will get more traction, especially on LinkedIn, versus something that's perfect and they can't really tell if it's a AI avatar or not. So let's listen to her video.
I heard that video is rising on LinkedIn, but you might have wondered, what does that mean for my LinkedIn ads strategy? We just looked at our LinkedIn Marketing Solutions top performing assets in the last quarter. 4 out of 5 were all video. And no, it was not that slick, expensive production.
4 out of 5 is insane. Put 4 out of 5 in the comments. So 80% of their highest performing campaigns and ads were video. And they were not expensive videos to produce. They were videos taken with this magical device called your phone.
Value video. It was just raw, relatable content filmed on a phone, just like this. The reason it works is because it stops the scroll. It's very human and it shows your brand without polish. If you're running ads on LinkedIn today, try this. Take one of your static ads, replace it with a 15-second video, film it on your phone. Don't use a script. Just share your honest perspective. Because on LinkedIn, people don't need perfect. They need real. You're a person on LinkedIn. That's what you want. It's what everybody else wants. Follow LinkedIn ads if you like tips like this and you want to hear more.
Awesome. So are we seeing the trend here? And this post was posted 2 weeks ago. And then lastly, there was this one, and head of global impact marketing at LinkedIn, trying something new here, my first bilingual video. And so here we go.
Soy Leo del equipo global de marketing de LinkedIn y este es mi primer video en la plataforma después de 10 años trabajando en LinkedIn. ¿Por qué me animé a hacerlo y por qué en español? Porque muchas personas en Latinoamérica me han preguntado cómo las organizaciones sin ánimo de lucro pueden aprovechar al máximo LinkedIn. Así que hoy les tengo 3 consejos muy rápidos para que puedan aprovechar. Número 1, descuentos y programas pro bono.
And as you can see, every single video is following the tips of the senior product leader, which basically he said, hey, have burned in captions, make sure that you change some of the scenes with a graphic or two, and, have it natural style.
¿Sabían ustedes que las organizaciones sin ánimo de lucro pueden acceder hasta el 50% de descuentos en la gran mayoría de nuestros productos y servicios? Además, cada trimestre pueden aplicar.
This is very interesting to me because if you're bilingual and you create a video in your second language or your primary language, but add captions from another language, they will probably want more examples of that, and they will probably push your video more. Start to put your questions in the comments as you have them. And like I said, for those of you who are listening, we are starting the 30-day LinkedIn video challenge. It's pinned to the top of the chat. There are different tiers. So there's free, where you get access to the daily live training. And in the challenge, you'll get a prompt, you'll get examples of the video, and they are fun. It's also fun to post with other people. It helps you stay motivated. And the $297 tier, you get the 30 days of recordings, and you get the daily recap of the lesson sent to you via email. And then $997, you actually get a VIP experience in a private Zoom, max 15 people. You get daily personalized advice for your specific videos so that you could improve as you go through the challenge. The link to join that is pinned to the top. And if you have questions about that, then just put it in the chat. Okay. So we've kind of seen that over the last week, there's so many leaders directly from LinkedIn that are sharing this data, that are encouraging people to post video on LinkedIn and saying, listen, if you create good videos, we are ready to match them with the right audience. And we are ready to help them move forward in the trends on LinkedIn. And they're basically telling you, do this and we will push your content. And you want to take advantage of that opportunity. So here's what I would do if I were you. And it's going to be one of two paths. So if you have not really been consistent with content, or if you really just want to double down on video, I would say do one video a day for the next 30 days on LinkedIn, and be cognizant about mastering short form video first. The reason why this will also help as you build towards your monthly LinkedIn lives is it's gonna grease in the machine, right? You're not going to go from cold to warm. You're not going to be rusty for your monthly live event. If you do this on a daily basis, your comfortability will increase, your skills will increase. Just the first video to the 5th video, you'll see a huge transformation in just how you look at the camera, your mannerisms, how you get to the point. A lot of the people, when they start working with me, it will take them 30 or 40 seconds to get to the point of whatever they're trying to say versus 3 seconds or 1 second. And you learn how to just get comfortable and be more yourself on video. So if that's more of you, that's where I would start. The other thing is that when we communicate on video, we communicate a lot more naturally than sometimes writing. We were trained in school to formalize the way that we write. That's why when we go to write something, it's we got to change the words, we got to make it more professional. But if you were to say it out loud, it doesn't really come out that naturally. So what every single video will do is provide you with a potential text post, a potential quote, a potential poll. It will provide you with natural transcript in your natural language that can be leveraged with some AI tools to scale that post. So let's say I do 30 videos in 30 days. There's going to be at least 3 of them that really are huge outliers. And those 3, I could potentially turn into LinkedIn Lives. Let's say it's 3 tips to go live on LinkedIn that does really well in a short form video. I could take each one of those tips and turn it into a video. I could turn it into a carousel. I could just turn it into a newsletter or a text post, but I could do it in a way where I share it in my natural language. Okay, does this make sense? And then here's a few examples of this, of some of my videos. So here we go. This is one. This went viral in the video trends tab. As you can see, kind of follows what they were saying. And it's just a selfie video on the phone, no fancy this or that. And all I did was follow the suggested topic that said, you know, what are some of the career lies that you've been told? Here are the career lies that I've been told. Number one, that I needed a job straight out of college and that was the honorable thing to do. Probably should have started my business straight out of college. The second one is that your career or your job growth is linear. Just because you start in a fancy consulting job out of college, you will go further than someone that doesn't. That's completely untrue. I am the example of that. The other thing is that the work that you do is more important than the relationships that you build. Yes, the work that you do is important, but the relationships that you build will outlast and give you leverage that you wouldn't have if you just do the work, keep your head down, and choose not to build relationships. And then the most recent, biggest, most dangerous lie is that only humans leveraging AI will take jobs. The fact of the matter is, and the data shows, that AI will take jobs and humans leveraging AI will take jobs. So it's very short. This video almost got 4 million impressions, but kind of talking about what I was just saying is I know that that copy works, right? So because I know that that copy works, I just took the text of whatever I said in the video. Hey, here are the top 4 career lies I've been told. And I recently attached that text to this image and I was able to repurpose that message. And here got another 5,000 impressions through different medium. I could create a newsletter based on this. I could create a carousel, but I'm sharing the way that it's written in my natural language with how I communicated it on video. And that alone will send a signal, even when people are reading it, that it's not just generated by AI, that this is probably more likely human. Does this make sense? Put a 1 in the chat. And here's another one. So as you could see, this is an example of one. And in this one, the text is basically what I'm saying in the video. So you could test during the challenge, during the 30-day challenge, we'll be texting with short captions, like, you know, short text accompanying the video and long text. And sometimes for some, the short text does better. And for others, the long text does better. So here I was just sharing, you know, the one major difference between low performers and high performers. And this is more of a CapCut edited style video with transitions and stuff, but it's a minute and 21 seconds. And this did very well, 105,000 impressions. I would say that this one resonated more with my particular audience because it was entrepreneurs and it definitely got me clients. The other one was just general. So there's a difference between focused, where the messaging will resonate with your target audience, and growth videos where you're throwing the net and you're getting followers, and the people that resonate, that click on your profile will, you know, follow accordingly. But both are important in your long-term strategy. So from being the type of entrepreneur that procrastinates, that stays stuck, and that never experiences a breakthrough, to the type of entrepreneur that takes action over and over and over again, even when they don't feel like it. In this video, I'm going to share one thing that I learned from Dr. Alec Panosia, who is the co-founder of Healthy Gamer. One of the things that he mentions could be the thing that could help you go from procrastinating to actually doing all of the things in your coaching business. This is also an example of a video that has nothing to do with what I sell, but is still very important for me to post because it resonates with the target market that I'm trying to attract, which are entrepreneurs. So we're going to learn, how do you master your messaging so that you're not just constantly in every single video leading people to your offer, but where you actually create adjacent videos that resonate with the right target market and you know when to post them. This is a great video to post, let's say for me, on a Thursday, on a Saturday, versus on a Monday where I may want to drill more into sales. Business that you should be doing. Things like creating content daily, building your email list, reaching out to clients, all of the things that we need to do. So the one thing that really separates high performers from low performers is that they avoid different things. The low performer is someone that avoids pain. So you get the point, right? Now, if you're already comfortable with video, and put a 1 in the chat. Put challenge in the chat if you're going to do the 30-day challenge. There's a second path. So let's say that you've already been posting, you've done a 30-day video challenge, you've kind of mastered the messaging, or you have a big platform elsewhere like TikTok or YouTube, you want to come on to LinkedIn. You've already done that. You've kind of built your personal brand to a certain extent, and you're really looking to leverage LinkedIn more as a scalable system for conversion. Then what I would do is the 1 live video per month for 25 minutes. This is where you would invite your 4,000 first degree connections. So you can invite 4,000 people per month to your LinkedIn live event. You have to have 4,000 plus connections. If you don't, then the first path becomes even more important because you could do the 30-day video challenge and get to the 4,000 pretty easily. So you invite 4,000, let's say conservatively 600 accept the invite, 100 show up live. Let's say you get 3 prospect calls and you close 1 client at 10K. That's 120K per year. That does not include any engagement, follow-up, upsells, resells, downsells. This is just leveraging the 1 live video per month. And then you get the asset from the live event. So you can repurpose that live into the following. The transcript you could turn into 4 newsletters. You can use a tool like Opus or Descript to get 10 to 12 video clips, especially if your messaging is organized. You can get text posts. We have Growth Academy GBT tools, kind of like the newsletter launch mentor and the about section writer that you already have access to that are specific to these functions. So you get the transcript, you can turn it into a newsletter, text post, polls, and then with something like Opus, you can get video clips and then organize it, whether that's in Google Sheets or Notion, into your content for the month. But this really necessitates you being a real expert and the live event and delivery being amazing. Because if you're going to scale the month of content based on that 1 presentation, and let's say the presentation is terrible, it's superficial content, you keep repeating yourself, it's hard to edit, then you can't really scale and squeeze enough lemon juice out of the lemon for the month of content, right? This is why I kind of recommend step 1, because your communication skills, comfortability with video, your ability to master the messaging will get better so that when you do start doing your live video events, you aren't as rusty and your skills are more proficient and you could get more out of the lemon. I hope that makes sense. Huaide Hanush. Awesome. I can't wait to. I hope I said your name right. Are you a doctor? I think I looked you up and you're a heart doctor. Wait, I'm curious. I want to see if my memory is right. Yes, you are. A specialist in metabolic cardiology. You are a heart doctor. Amazing. You're going to crush. I'm gonna, like, you join the challenge, you will be the best known heart doctor on LinkedIn. I love it. This is also the opportunity that is LinkedIn, right? Like, there's probably heart doctors that are influencers. Like, I follow an influencer on TikTok that's a doctor. She's a neurologist. She has like millions of followers. And so you go to Instagram, you go to places like TikTok, probably even YouTube. And I could think of a few physicians that are influencers in their own right that weren't previously famous, right? I'm not talking about people that have won like Nobel Prizes or had a previously established reputation or something. Like, yes, Tony Robbins has 5 million something followers on LinkedIn, for example, but he was already previously well known, or like Bill Gates, right? They're already previously well known. They didn't leverage the platform to really get onto people's radar, like at scale. So when you look at any market, but let's just take like a heart doctor, for example, in this case, when you look at Instagram and other platforms, there could be other influencers that have kind of dominated that niche. But on LinkedIn, I can't think of one. Maybe you see one or two, but I bet you that even if there are, if they share like insights on case studies and stuff, that's probably more of the case, or maybe a newsletter. But I bet you they aren't doing like great videos consistently, right? So I'm excited. I love to see like niche use cases like that. So what questions do you all have about video on LinkedIn that I could answer for you? Women heart health. Yeah, that's awesome. And think about it. Like, I don't know what your goal is. We could talk about that a little bit, especially if you join VIP. I'll get to know a little bit more of what your goal is, but I don't know if you're on the platform for patients or partnerships or whatever. But even if you just get visibility, like the opportunities that can come from people inviting you on podcasts or asking you to speak at universities or other events, also people that may become your patients, right? Or refer their family members to be patients of yours because they live in the area. Like, there's just so many benefits of it. Maybe you write a book in a year. I don't know if you have a book and you need an audience to be able to sell it to become a bestseller. You could start building your platform now. There's just a lot of opportunity for experts like you on this platform. And it's literally your market for the taking. There's so many professional women on the platform as well that probably work a little bit too hard and need to focus a little bit more, or even be educated a little bit more on their heart health. There you go. Planning to write a book. Perfect. So, you know, to give visibility, to become a bestseller, even maybe to get publishers or sometimes, you know, having the platform, and especially an engaged quality platform, gives you leverage. Yeah, I mean, I remember I worked with a client, and she helps train hospitals to use the machine. I forgot what it's called. But basically that's what she does. She trains them on how to get to the machine faster and stuff like that. And she does it in Florida, and she's very involved with like the community and like the politicians and policy and stuff. And she shared like signs of women and like stats when it came to like women's heart attacks. And just the fact that a lot of women, I didn't know, aren't really aware of even pre-heart attack signs. And for them, it could be a lot more critical, right? Like surviving a heart attack, I guess less likely to survive a heart attack as a woman. So I remember it was pretty like, wow, more people should know about this. So I have about 10 minutes. What questions do you guys have? Like, I'm here to help you answer your questions. It could be with actual video, it could be editing, it could be just general posting on LinkedIn. organization, operational organization. Yeah, that's scary. That's so scary. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's like statistic or data, proven data, right? That broken hearts can lead to heart complications, but I'm sure like I've seen enough people, like I've seen probably like a handful of people that you could say their death was accelerated because of a broken heart, usually because of loss, you know? I think that's real. I don't know what the data says, but is premium required? So on LinkedIn, is premium required? No, but just like anything in life, you get what you pay for. So I like to tell people to give themselves the challenge of, I think if you sign up for premium, the first month is free, and actually use it. So the benefits of premium are that, number one, you can see who is looking at your profile. So if you're going to be posting daily, more people are going to be looking at your profile. If it's a prospect or someone that just is a leader that keeps looking at your profile, I like to just call out the elephant in the room and say, hey, I've seen that you looked at my profile like 5 times this week. Is there something that I can, and a question I can answer, or like, let's connect? And you could just break the ice and start the conversation. The other thing is that you get the gold badge by your name. So if I'm looking to connect with 10 people, I'm going to usually prioritize the person with the gold badge because they're just statistically more active on LinkedIn, leveraging the platform and taking it more seriously. And then the other thing is your ability to personalize the connection request, which I think is really important too, especially if you do things like launch your LinkedIn newsletter, which hopefully you've done by now. If not, then you could watch one of the trainings, including yesterday's training on how to do that. But when you get that list of subscribers, you could then send them a personalized note and say, hey, I saw you subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter. Let's connect. And I'm telling you, I do this all the time. And 9 out of 10, almost every set, 9 out of 10, because it's timing and because there's a reference point and I'm not just randomly connecting, they'll accept. And then when they accept, I'll be like, hey, I appreciate connecting. And a lot of the times it leads to a conversation. You don't know what that conversation will lead to or what resource you could then direct them to if they have a question. So what do you think of the use of teleprompter? I'm more inclined to using it. So I'm always going to lean towards what works for you. So when I'm working with a client, if they can produce videos sustainably with the teleprompter, I'm not going to tell them not to do it, right? Now, if they use the video teleprompter and after 5 or 10 videos, I see 0 progress, and I could tell by watching the videos that it's a crutch or that they're kind of using it because they're afraid to just free flow, then I'll make that point as well, you know? So, but if you find that you're more natural, more of your energy comes out, it's just a style that works for you, then lean into the teleprompter. The only thing is, how do you prep what to say in the teleprompter? And for me, it only works when I actually say what I need to say out loud naturally. So if I were to start writing something like these are the 3 tips, if I go to ChatGPT now and say, write me 3 tips of how to grow on LinkedIn, and if I were to start reading that, I would sound like a robot and it would actually hinder my essence and my energy. But if I would do like a voice note or actually say what I needed to say into ChatGPT and then just say, hey, write this into a script using these same words for my teleprompter, then when I go to actually say, it's going to sound more natural. So the process behind how to get the words is very important. As long as it enhances your essence and doesn't hinder you or make you sound robotic, I'm all for it. That was a long way of saying, do what works for you. Does that make sense? And I would start with a simple. You don't have to start with fancy teleprompters. Like I have the streaming teleprompter, I have all these machines, but there's CapCut on your phone, or the Captions app, you can use a teleprompter. Should the daily videos be a combination of clips from lives and selfies? They can be all clips of lives. So in the 30-day video challenge, we will actually be doing phone videos. So less than 5% will be clips of other videos. And from what LinkedIn is sharing and what I have been finding is that unless the clip from the live has, like, you were just in so much flow that day, it's like a mic drop clip. Unless it's that, it's not going to do as well if you repurpose it. So if you wanted to get the most juice out of the lemon, what they're really looking for, and they tell you, they say, use your phone, use CapCut. We just did a partnership, do the captions. They want more natural videos that are less podcast style edited and stuff. But because you have so much content, Dr. Geneva, I would say do 70-30 and join the challenge. It'll be fun. Can you talk about content planning? Yes. I think content planning is important after you can prove to yourself that you could do 30 days. Because I think people highly underestimate the value of getting a prompt and being able to, in a minute or less, with imperfections, and giving it to the AI algorithm with the LinkedIn platform, allowing the data and the engagement to do the talking. A lot of times when we do content planning, we filter out a lot of potential because we think it won't do well, we think this, and a lot of the times we're wrong. A lot of the videos that I, to this day, think will go viral, never go viral. And the ones that do, I'm like, what? This was so simple. It's like, I should be doing a lot more testing like that. So I think that there's a tremendous skill in doing the 30 days to be able to grab your phone, do the video, be okay with imperfections, allow the data to talk. And then from there, looking at the data and the outliers and being like, okay, every single time I talk about these 3 things, it's an outlier. So these should be my 3 pillars, instead of just assuming what your 3 pillars should be or what your content buckets, whatever people are calling it these days, should be before allowing the data to prove what it should be. Does that make sense? So I'm of the philosophy that we learn through action and we allow the people to speak. Because you may think that one of your content pillars should be, let's just say you're a chef, should be cooking pasta or Italian. But let's say that every single time that you cook Chinese food, it gets like 5 times the engagement, the views, the reposts, and you didn't even consider that in one of your content buckets or pillars. And I like to test, experiment, have fun, and allow the data to do the talking. And then you can move into content planning mode, because you can't stay in that mode forever either. You have to scale, and then you will naturally get busier in your business. And then the problem will become, well, how do I keep this marketing machine going and then fulfill and onboard and deliver to all the new clients that I have? And that becomes a blessing for problem number 2. But it's just another level of pressure. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's really just experimenting, having fun. And the thing is that when you do it with other people, it's even more fun. And the chances of success are higher because you guys will be supporting each other. So if you haven't done so already, click the link at the top that's pinned to the chat and join the 30-day video challenge. We're going to start October 1st, and we will be posting videos every single day for 30 days. Now, how this will work is Monday through Friday. The trainings will be held daily at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you get the 297 tier, you'll get the recordings and the daily lessons sent to you. 997, you join a VIP, Zoom, 15 people max, and you get to ask questions, get personal advice on your get personalized feedback on your actual videos, because there's just the littlest things that can improve delivery. And the whole point is to look at the first video and the last video during the challenge, be like, whoa, I have transformed. You should even see the difference between video 1 and video 5. I'm having fun. I'll stay for 5 more minutes. What questions? But to answer your question, Sharon, once kind of fun phase 1 is complete, then you can move into content planning. And then I lean towards, what tools do you already use where it's not going to be a bunch of resistance, right? And that's when you start to post different types of posts. So it's not just video then. Then it will be adding text posts with images. It will be adding polls, the weekly newsletter. That's when, the different mediums can come in. But when you have to do videos during that phase, it's like riding a bicycle, because you just learn the hardest skill first. And really, it should, like, your attitude, like you all will see people transform in the challenge where they'll be like, I hate video, or like the thought of a video is just dreadful. And then by the end, they're like excited. And you could just see that as they're recording the video, they are not dreading it. I'm new to all of this. Yeah, that's great. That's exciting. It's exciting to be a beginner. Embrace being a beginner. It's a superpower. I tell people all the time, the leverage and superpower that you have as a beginner, think about how many beginners are out there. I could lead a video challenge. I could show you all the videos I've done. I could show you the 4 years of consistently doing short form videos, webinars, trainings, challenges, and YouTube videos. And sometimes people will look at that and be like, well, it's because you've been doing it for so long, or like, you could do it, but I don't know if I can, I'm just starting. But what they haven't seen, that some of my followers have seen, is the progress. Like, I have some people that follow me that are clients that have seen from the time that I posted my first video on LinkedIn to today, and the progress, and just the learning, the different setups. This is not my first setup, right? My first setup was the ghetto. But guess what? It didn't matter. I was just sharing my message. And sometimes, like, honestly, the truth is what people are looking for, in terms of, like, people say authenticity all the time, but it's really, think of it in the frame of, I'm being a little bit vulnerable and I'm telling the truth, which is like, hey, I'm literally new to all this video stuff. I'm terrified, but we're going to see what happens in 30 days. And you'll have people follow you during that journey that maybe you'll inspire. It's very powerful. And you don't realize, oh, you have been watching me that long. Yeah, people see the setup today and they think that this was the setup all along, but no, definitely not. That's awesome that you've been following me that long. So this is an example. I'll kind of show it on the screen. Here we go. So you guys can see. If you haven't been following me that long, you can kind of see the transformation here. I think it's funny. So this was in 2021. Mind you, this is like a year almost, right, into me doing video, or like probably like 18 months of me taking video pretty seriously. And look at just the transformation. This is also during COVID. So like the COVID hair going on, because the salon's closed, had these little books, had like a $40 microphone setup that sounded terrible. And I would knock the microphone over all the time because I use my hands a lot. And the lighting is terrible. The lighting's coming from the window and just overbearing my face. But this is just an example of evolution. So just because you start in like as a beginner doesn't mean that you won't evolve. The only reason that I'm able to do the trainings that I do today and may seem comfortable and stuff is just because I've done so many reps. Yeah. There you go. Last 2 minutes. Any last questions, or what's like the one thing that you learned over the last 3 days that stands out the most? I love to learn. I love to get that feedback. What's up, Lillian? You should do the 30-day challenge. If you're here and you weren't here before, there's a link that you'll see pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. It's a 30-day LinkedIn video challenge. Do not be afraid. We're going to have fun. It's not even that bad. No, it wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty bad. But the message was good. And I showed up and I just was sharing what I knew and what I was learning. And, I do have people comment on videos these days. And some of these people are like in corporate, they'll never be clients. They may refer a friend or something, but they'll just like say, hey, I've been watching you over the last few years and like, I really admire the progress, like how you challenge yourself and how you go to the next level. Because I could have stayed doing short form video on LinkedIn. Then I was like, no, let's try webinars, and then webinars, then YouTube, then the multi-day challenges, right? Yeah. But yeah, and Lillian's in healthcare too, Dr. Hueda. So you guys should connect. Let's go. And it's fun to do with other people. So one of the things I'm going to be posting every single video as well. So I'm not just going to be like, oh, here's the prompt. You'll see my example of that day. You'll see other people's examples, and you'll learn as we go. Okay, I answered that question. Let me just make sure I answered all questions. And so one last kind of comment. One of the things that I'm going to be, I've done challenges like this before, and the focus has been like on the prompts or the question that you're going to answer that day, and actually doing the 30 days, which is very important. But I'm going to increase the intensity, so to speak, of this challenge, because we are in a time where it's not just doing the video and publishing it, but really what I'm going to be looking for throughout the challenge is progress of delivery and energy. So when I watch the video, do I believe what you're saying? Do I believe that you believe what you're saying? Do you have that level of conviction? Can I feel your energy? Do I feel like you're real? Or are you trying to be perfect where I may confuse you to not be an expert, or to potentially prefer a bot video, or maybe to, mistake you for a bot or an AI avatar? So those are the things that, because of the times, are going to be a little bit different with this challenge. The delivery is important. It's everything at the end of the day. So put a challenge in the chat if you're going to do the 30 days. We'll be starting on October 1st. You'll also be emailed some of that information in a recap and just the replays of the last 3 days. And so just mentally prepare for that. because really, like, you could continue to learn and show up to the trainings, but a lot of the best growth comes from doing, learning through doing, and having fun while you learn with other people and encouraging other people to win while they encourage you to win. So thank you so much for joining today. I'll see you all soon in the challenge on October 1st. And God bless you. Ciao.